Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, going into our third day, we really start to focus on certain situations. And the one situation that we want to hit was the red zone, where you guys saw like plenty of red zone plays from us, and also in 2 minutes. So I thought our guys did a really good job understanding exactly what we're trying to do. For the most part, I thought we operated the way that I want to operate. Listen, there were some issues here and there. We'll get those cleaned up. Secondly, Justin. All right, so Justin, he's going to be day-to-day. He has this toe that was dislocated. So the huge storm that was created really made no sense. And I think that's a lesson for all of us of, guys, let's just wait till we get the diagnosis. I will not BS you. All right, I will tell you exactly what it is, and we'll move on. So that shouldn't happen again. All right, so any questions?
What was the sense of relief in response to
Well, the thing is, I don't think like that. You know, the only thing I think about, okay, the next guy that's up got to get ready to operate. And, you know, that's just what it is. That's how this league is. And I told you guys, I went through that before. So as a coach, man, you got to get the next guy ready and get ready to go. Now, I'm not saying that I wasn't concerned. Obviously, you're going to be concerned about all your players that have an injury. But at that point in time, man, we got to practice. We got to continue to operate like we have to operate.
When you're working with the medical staff, like when
Say it again.
When you're talking to the medical staff about when to bring him back,
Yeah.
is it different on July 25th versus October 25th? Like, will you take some extra time to?
Well, listen, I want to make sure that between all of us that we have a conversation and see exactly what needs to be done for him to get ready to come back. And you're right. I mean, it is early. But also we want to make sure we get as many reps as we can with them. So when he's ready to come back, we'll make sure he's out on the field, make sure he's getting those reps. Now, he's going to be in meetings, he's going to be in all those things, but for the most part, man, we're going to work together to make sure it's collaborative as far as when he gets back on the field.
It looked like he was itching to do stuff out there today. Was he trying to rob you to?
Well, that's who Justin is. And listen, I'd rather have a guy that I have to hold back than have to tell him to giddy up, you know. So he's built like that. He's a tough man. And I expected that anyway. You know, once we understand, got the diagnosis exactly what it was, I knew exactly how he's going to operate. And that's most of our guys we have.
Because obviously his superpower is his mobility.
Yeah.
He can do so many things. Even when he gets back to practice, is there any level of concern that it might impair his ability to?
If Justin gets back to practice, that means he's ready to go. You know, so he's going to be himself, and I'm not going to hold him back from being himself. Now, the thing is, we don't want nobody to step on his toe, but as he has to be himself when he's out there, because now, to me, I try to make sure practice like emulates game as much as possible. So I want him to be himself as he's going through his practice.
How do you take in that last possession of practice where the offense marches down, gets inside the 10, and you're as a head coach, you're watching. You got to be happy the defense comes with a takeaway. Cisco makes a good play, good coverage. But at the same time, you don't want the offense to turn it over now.
Yeah, well, that's teaching on both parts. You're absolutely right about that. Because of the end of half situation, I think we got like minus 46 with a minute 34 left in the game. We had 2 timeouts. And I thought Tyra did a hell of a job actually driving the guys down, and the guys understanding that situation. The one thing that we want to make sure offensively, we want to make sure we secure 3 points at that time. And once we secure 3, okay, let's go ahead and score. We have an opportunity. The defense have to understand once they get in field goal range, we know the offense is going for the score. So I thought both sides understood the situation, operate like they wanted to. It was just at the end of the game, man, Tyrod just got to make a better decision on that, and he knows that.
One more thing on Justin's toe. You
Yeah.
mentioned people not stepping on it. Do you have to talk to guys, or was that just like a freak thing that happened?
Well, they know it. I mean, you never want to get close to the quarterback. And I think it was a deal. It was a freak deal because I thought BC actually tried to get away from the quarterback, and our own lineman came back and stepped on his toe.
Mason Taylor is the guy that seemed like he made a lot of plays out there today. Just kind of what you've seen, throughout the course of, camp and obviously go back to the spring.
There's nothing different than what we saw when it came to what we saw in college. And I told you guys from the beginning, the thing that impresses me about him is his ability to block. So the receiving skills, listen, that doesn't surprise me. I know he can do that. His blocking, I know he can block, but I didn't think it was going to be this good. So I'm excited to see how he matures when it comes to camp on how we want to do things as far as that concerned.
How rare is that to just have a rookie tight end to come in that, can contribute in the blocking
Yeah.
like that?
It is rare. It is, but he's a rare person too. He has the bloodlines of an NFL athlete. So it's expected that he understands that he's going to have to mature when it comes to that part, and I know he will.
We've heard a
the offensive line is at a disadvantage when there's no pads on.
Yeah.
So was it extra encouraging for you to see? Because it seemed like Brees was broken free a couple times.
Yeah.
Would be touchdowns, in spite of the fact the offensive line was at that disadvantage.
Listen, man, our O-line today, especially when it came to the run game, I thought they did a hell of a job. I think Steve's doing a hell of a job of explaining exactly what we're trying to create. And you're absolutely right. I mean, it's kind of hard to actually get a true feel of the run game when you don't have pads on. But you can, see some things that's encouraging when it comes to that. Now, I thought they did a really good job of that. I mean, guys know exactly what our guys up front want to do, and they thrive on that. And our backs thrive on that also. And then with everybody we got as far as the quarterback room, I mean, that's another level of us being able to run with the ball. And I think it's going to open up some things for us in the passing game too. So, but I don't want to diminish what they do in the passing game also. I mean, they look forward to doing that too. But every offensive lineman that I know, man, they want to get downhill and smash somebody. And that's what our guys can't do.
How valuable was it for Mambo to be getting reps going against Will McDonald throughout camp?
I just talked to him about that yesterday. Listen, you're not going to find too many guys with that type of ability as far as speed, agile, quickness to go against on a daily basis. And he's taking advantage of every moment of it. And he understands that. And they both actually understand. You're going against two good players. So not only is Membo getting a chance to go against, Will's going against a good guy too. So those guys are working with each other. I mean, obviously we got to get other guys he's going to go against, but he's going against Will for the most part.
When you look at Will, do you see anything different from the film to now after he's put on some weight and stuff like that?
Well, yes, we talked about that before. He came in over 240. So his ability to set the edge is starting to show up quite a bit. He understands how to use his length, and that's one thing that we talk about for the most part, of actually where his body needs to be able to set an edge. It's one thing to turn your body towards the sideline. That's not really setting the edge because you have no power, but to keep your butt towards the goal line and be able to withstand that pressure. He's doing a really good job of that, and that's just the teaching part that he understands he's getting better at. So every time he goes out there, he's understanding that, and with that added weight, it's going to be good for him because it hasn't taken away anything when it comes to him rushing the passer.
You gathered them up right before the 2-minute drill.
Yeah.
What was the message there?
Just explain the 2-minute drill, and then for the most part, I want those guys to talk to me. And I want to hear, can they feed back to me the things that I've been talking to them about? And those guys retain that information really, really well. A lot of this went back from OTAs, right, that we talked about. So I'll ask the offense, what are we trying to create in this situation? On defense side, what are we trying not to let the offense do? And those guys really communicate that well back to me.
You talked about it back in March.
Yep.
About moving in silence.
Yeah.
How do you think you guys did on that front during this offseason?
I'm going to ask you that. How do you think we did?
I think you did well.
Well, I appreciate that. That was the
I'm
plan.
curious how you feel. Nobody cares what I think.
That's not true. That's not true.
You'll figure it out.
Well, I don't want to say that. But, no, listen, I thought everybody within the organization, understood what the plan was. And, listen, I've been a part firsthand of, man, let's just get the job done. And that's all that we care about. I mean, I want to make sure the players understand, man, you're here to play football. And everybody in the organization understands that everybody has a job to do. And whatever that job is, let's do it to the best of our ability. And nothing else on the outside really matters. And when you do that and you keep things in-house, man, that's when the closeness starts to come together. That's when you start to understand the culture of your building and the environment of your building. And listen, we're not totally there yet, and I understand that, but we're moving in the right direction, and that feels good to me.
Rich and then Caroline, with the officiating crew, are they here for the duration of camp, or is this just an early camp thing, and what's the benefit of having them?
I want the officials here as much as possible, and they know that. And it's no secret that we were the most penalized team in the league last year. So that's one of the things that I want to nip in the bud early, of making sure that the discipline part of what we do, that we fix that now. You cannot win games in this league with an undisciplined team. So all the penalties that we had last year, we're knocking those things out, and we want to make sure that we're good at that. Even the details of what we do. We can't have any MAs, and I know they happen, All right, but we're striving for perfection in that situation of every detail when it comes to offense and defense, that we're on top of that, and we're trying to make sure we be good on that too. So the officials are going to be here. We're going to knock that out. All right, I would tell you that we're going to knock these penalties out. We're going to understand that undisciplined teams do not win games.
Can I get one follow on that? Some coaches say, we don't coach penalties. We don't tell them the holds. We don't tell them the pass interference. It's not coach. That's a player thing. You do believe that you can coach out penalties?
Well, listen, it's two different. When you look at penalties, I look at it like this. You have pre-snap penalties, you have the dumb penalties, and then you have competitive penalties. The competitive penalties, listen, you go back and forth with those, right? Like PI, man, guys are fighting for those competitive penalties. Those competitive. Now, false starts, jumping off sides, hitting after plays, the dump, like we got to knock those out. And we control those. We control those. And those are things I want to make sure we get rid of.
Coach,
Uh-oh.
other than Tyrod, well, I guess including Tyrod, what did you think of Martinez and Cook and how they played and kind of took advantage of the extra reps they got in field tackles?
I think those guys are growing on a daily basis. Listen, it's early. It's early. But I think we all saw the way that Brady operated in the red zone. I thought he played confident. He knew where his guys were, and he wasn't afraid to pull the trigger. Same way with Martinez. Those guys are getting these valuable reps, and we want to try to get those guys as many reps as we can. We want to say exactly what we got. So I'm excited on the go forward of both of those guys. They both have talent. They both operate well in what we're trying to do. And I thought today they had a really good day.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank you.